I strongly believe that setting positive aspiration and goal is healthy, necessary, and non negotiable for growth. Every meaningful life must be guided by some kind of vision. However, there's a dimension of goal setting that is rarely discussed, yet incredibly powerful: the discipline of defining what you refuse to become. Now, setting goals around who you desire to become is good, but oftentimes, setting goals around who you never want to become is an even stronger motivator. Psychology teaches us something very profound. It says the pain of loss is felt more intensely than the joy of gain. In simple terms, human beings are more driven to avoid pain than to pursue pleasure. Now, this same principle applies to goal setting. The fear of loss can sometimes generate more urgency, more discipline, and consistency than the promise of a reward. So let's take, for example, saying I want to make 100 million naira or I want to earn $100 million is a valid and a noble goal. But for some people, a stronger internal drive comes from a different kind of declaration. Something like, I refuse to live a life where I beg for bread. I refuse to depend on people for survival. I refuse to lose my dignity. Now, here you come. For many, the mere imagination of that outcome, the outcome of lack, of dependence, of shame, going about begging people is enough to disrupt their sleep and provoke action. That picture alone can generate discipline in them. Now, balance is important, of course. It's important to be balanced. You see, dwelling excessively on negative outcomes can also be very dangerous. You see, when fear is unmanaged, it can spiral into anxiety, into limitation and unbelief. But when fear is properly framed, it can become wisdom. Everything that God has given to us, including our imagination, was given to us for a purpose. The goal is not to suppress imagination, but to make the most out of it. Use every faculty of your mind in a way that propels you towards your purpose. It is often easier for someone to commit to a healthy living when they fear a heart attack than when the goal is merely to be fit. The fear does not replace the vision, it only reinforces it.